Right, done the orchid table. This one hasn't got a lot in the way of flowers. Well, not flowers that are yet visible, but that new growth there on this Zygopetalum and that there, my finger's touching, are flower buds. They normally end up, one of those spikes will produce between 3 and 5 flowers. Now I can't see any others on there. Yes, I can actually. There's one that's been growing already, which is this one here. There's also one of the new growths. This is smaller of the two Zygopetalums. Really exotic flower, and those that have bought them and killed them, don't spray them. Don't spray them like your other orchids. And if you've lost the leaves, don't give up on it. Throw it in the garden, in the pot, under some bushes, chuck some water in there once or twice a week, because that's exactly what happened to that, and it came back. Now I get lots of flowers. That is an oncidium sweet sugar I saved from somewhere. It was shriveled up. These were quite flat. It only had 2. Since then it's produced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bulbs, something like that. Yet to flower, but I think it will flower this year. A bit wobbly. Dendrobium kingianum. That one would be the Berry Oda one. I know they've all got different names, but I mean basically all the kingianums look like this at the end of the day. Doesn't matter how they got their flowers. To me, as a species to look at, because these are just Dendrobium Berry Oda. That was listed as Dendrobium kingianum, and that's got the cream flowers you've seen, and that one's got the purple flowers of the Berry Oda. But to look at, you know, and the flowers are the same shape, and in taxonomy sometimes things really are as simple as they look. You know, some people do like to get anal about it, and it's not necessary. You can see there's lots of growths on that. It's now on to its second lot of growths, so it's going to get bigger. In fact, there's one now, you can see. There's a few knocking about, but I'm not going to pull it about to see just yet. There's 2 odontoglossums. One is like a divorce stick era, the other one I don't know, but there's one in particular I hope it is odontoglossum, the typical odontoglossum flowers, but a particular colour. Now here's my other, look what I've just seen. Here's my other zygo, and look what do we have here. A flower. Sometimes if they do that, it's a bit weird. But here's a one here. That's going to be a flower spike. That's quite early actually. I wouldn't normally expect to see flowers on these probably until about August, September, and then they can actually flower for a number of months. They last quite a while, you know, and you know, I don't touch them, I don't cut anything, and after they've lost their first lot of flowers they quite often flower again. So there you go. Let's see if I can get a better shot of that flower. I can't see the monitor at all, so I'm just hoping that's focusing. I'm trying to direct it straight at. It's typical, it has to be that way around. Hang on, if I can turn that slightly without breaking anything. And move that. You can just see a little bit of the petal. They're quite fleshy petals on these as well. But that's basically what it looks like. This is the lip with the purple and white, and the rest of it looks like that. Green petals with the purple red stripes. One of the more popular orchids I've got. People wow at all my orchids, but there's 2 in particular that knocks them dead. That one is one, and Vanda Carulia is the other, closely followed by the Victoria Reginae Dendrobium. But there you go, there's one of my Dendrobium nobiles. Whilst I let it grow down. I do like to let things grow naturally instead of straight up like they all like to do. I'm totally the opposite. I just don't see the point. You know, the beauty of orchids is what they are, not what we turn them into. And there's another Dendrobium nobile, which has grown up, but I've got two kikes right on the end of one of the canes, and I've got two kikes, one about halfway up and one near the top on the other one. And this one, well, that one's just producing its roots by the look of things, and that one has a couple of roots. I mean, you can break them off and have a new plant. Another thing they do as well, because when you buy them, see they're chopped here, they chop them, and if you cut them so there's two segments in each piece, put that in a polythene tray with a load of moist moss and cellophane over it, put it in a lit area, each of the pieces eventually produce a couple of these, so each piece becomes a plant with two canes, sometimes one, but normally two. But I'm really not into doing that. I will want to produce seed pods at some stage, but that takes something I don't have. One of them's space, the other one is equipment, but other than that it's not difficult. I just need the space and the money to do it. Oh, my jewel orchids, which I hadn't realised, these really suffered. I got them very cheap. There's a few skins there, but these ended up getting infected by whitefly, and I hadn't noticed, and I suddenly noticed the leaves were dying, and sometimes the whitefly are hard to damn well spot. But anyway, I've treated them. That one didn't have any leaves on it at all. As long as they've got these fleshy bits still, they'll come back. And I used bug clear, which is that one, Bug Clear Ultra, for flowers, fruit and veg. I just write on it instead of me having to strain to read it, and I use that on all the orchids. It's got rid of thrips. I do it a little under the dosage it marks. It's got rid of thrips, it's got rid of aphids, it's got rid of whitefly, and I do have, I didn't know this, wasn't familiar with scowl, but I have a euphorbia. It was affected by scowl, but it hasn't hit anything else. And it's got quite bloody tall, as you can see, no branching off. I thought that was sunburn. I'm not familiar, never dealt with scowl before. Then I found out it was scowl. There's a euphorbia, and that one's produced a little bit of latex. I don't know why that is. Normally they do that, they can spray it if it gets too hot, too much sun, or if they get whacked, they do it. I mean, that one's that literally showered that chair there in latex right in front of my face. But anyway, there's scowl, so I'm treating that at the moment with the bug clear. It says it gets rid of scowl insects. I've not seen them, but according to what I've seen on the internet, what I thought was burning, which is why I put a net there and turned it around, it's turned out to be a bloody pest, literally, in both senses of the word. And there you go, that's my other plant collection. A little aloe plant down there, now planted in its own pot, and these went a bit funny actually, silver sedge plant I think they were called. They've got their own pots now, which they desperately needed. They're square ones each, one there, one there. Got space for a few orchids. Oh, my Strelitzia, bird of paradise. My brother seems to think it's big, but it's not Strelitzia regina, and I said, well, that's exactly what it is. And it was only, I've had it, nobody realises I've had this about 4 years. It was only a little when I got it. There's my oscillating fan, half price, 30 quid, B&Q, aluminium blades, That's on its lowest setting. There's one thing that orchids really do like, provided you've got conditions right, you've got it all sorted out and you think you know what you're doing and the orchids are growing. If you put a fan on and you oscillate it, doesn't have to be blowing a gale, right, but if the air is moving, right, they will grow faster than they normally do. I can guarantee that. And they seem to look healthier too. I mean, look at this one. It's right in front of the fan. And look how straight and healthy those canes are. Anyway, that's my other orchid table.